just pleased and happy that he's coming home. The nightmare's ended, so yeah, just happy he's coming home, basically. Yeah, and we've not got to make no more visits.
And how have you felt like when Keir Starmer announced the news that prisoners were going to be released? How did you react?
I didn't like him, but I liked him then. Yeah.
Today, 1,100 people were released from prisons to combat overcrowding in prison cells across the UK. We came down to Pentonville in Islington to ask locals what they think.
Really, there's no option. Prisons are full to overflowing, so I think it's a pragmatic decision, given the the numbers involved. I think I'd ask a bigger question, which is why are so many people sent to prison, and why are so many people sent to prison for what I would say offences that could be dealt with in other ways?
Well, I think as long as it's petty crimes and they're near the end of their sentence anyway, then I think that's okay. But if it's murderers or rapists or anything more serious, then no, they shouldn't come out.
I mean, I don't know if anybody's got released from here today.
Yeah, we saw a few people.
Yeah. Oh, they'll be in the pub now. They'll be spending all the money they get when they go out, and they'll go in the pub.
Well, one person who left said that he only had £12 in his pocket and he didn't know what he was going to do today, and he was in a pretty bad way.
That's quite simple. He'll go down the co-op and get a few joints of meat and sell them in the pub.
I think if you compare us to a lot of other countries, we seem to send an awful lot of people to prison, and I can't see that that's particularly producing any good results, but is costing the country an awful lot of money.
I know they're in there for naughty things, but try and make it a bit more comfortable for them, because a lot of them are in there with mental health problems.
I know it's like they say, there's not enough prisons, but then at the end of the day, you just can't be releasing people. Okay, I understand some people are saying shoplifting, and they're saying, well, shoplifting sometimes is not a crime, but it is. I mean, even down here, you see it every single day in the co-op, and they'll just walk in, there's nobody there to stop them, and they know now if they come out, if they go to prison, they're going to come out early and they're just going to do exactly the same thing again.
You do something wrong, there must be a punishment for it, which I sort of understand, and I can sort of see the logic with that. But there's never that actually aftercare, and how they actually come back in society. What when they're in prison, do they just languish away in a cell, or do they actually have some sort of mediation in the process of being in prison?
A lot of younger people who just, they haven't had many chances in life, they have a misstep and suddenly they're criminalised. I just think, generally speaking, our first instinct, unless it's something really, really serious, our first instinct should be looking at non-custodial sentences, not just banging people up and probably making their future lives very, very difficult.
Obviously it's less of two evils, isn't it? The prisons are full, they need to do something. So yeah, no, I don't have a problem with it.
So you think it's a good idea, a good way to make space?
I think it's the only way to make space. I mean, you couldn't build a prison in a month, and you need to be able to put people into prison. So yeah, I think it's the only thing they could do.
We also spoke to Vicky, who was waiting with her family for her husband to be released from Pentonville after serving 4 years in prison for drug offences.
Well, I think we've got to get him home. I think they've got to come and do the tag. He might have to go and see his probation officer, so if he's on tag it'd be 7 till 7. Maybe just get a takeaway, but we do things in the daytime, people will come round, close family, and I think just getting back to normal, really.
And how has he found his experience being in Pentonville? Has he said what the conditions are like at all, or?
He said it's terrible in there, like cockroaches and things like that. But I think you'll find that the other wings, with all the youngsters and that, they're a lot worse. But look, I get where they're all coming from, saying it's not violent people or whatever, and I think they're giving it a bad press. They're showing you some of the, I think they're just showing you different stories. There's still a lot of people, decent people in there. I've got good jobs to come out to, like businesses. We've still got a business, and you've got homes. I know some of them haven't, but it's not all, they're not always.
It's a good move to give people an opportunity to reintegrate into society and get a chance to take on a different path in life, maybe. Especially if, maybe it's because of their upbringing or because of mental abuse or physical abuse or traumatic experiences that they may have suffered when they were younger. This does give them an opportunity to reintegrate.
In my opinion, I don't think it's a crime not to pay your television licence. Honest to God, I don't. But you can go to prison for that. But you can go around here and mug somebody and you can get let out of prison in a couple of months. I think you can get more crime that way because people know now that if you get caught and you get sentenced, your sentence is going to be nothing. So it's pointless. It's not a deterrent, and some people will be laughing. Some people will do more crime.
But do you feel like you have faith in the government to make sure that they don't mess up the early release? You're shaking your head.
No, no, I don't have faith in the government, full stop. So whether it's Conservative or Labour, I mean, why is there so many people in there? If there is too many, then they need to build more prisons, or they're putting people that are really petty unnecessarily in prison.
I've never been a fan of this Labour government, even before they got into office, and I think they're almost trying to position themselves as almost Tory-light, and by positioning themselves that way, they've actually become more conservative than Conservatives. But before they got into government, there'll be the sort of people that said, "Oh, we need to be addressing this via X, Y, Z," but they're not actually implementing that. Rehabilitation activities, groups, youth centres, etc. That'll be a lot more impactful for the area and the wider country, but I don't think that is being present.
But no, I think, you've got to give it out. You've got to let the prisoners do, get on with things. They've done a crime, but so also they can learn something in there, like a skill, cooking, woodwork and all that. But I don't know, they said they've locked up quite enough during the day. Some of them don't care because if they offend again, they'll go back in. And a lot of the people don't really realise how many people do offend and go back in because it's what they know.
He was a listener, he done the courses, the cooking and everything. Well, he made use of it. So it is there if you want it.
What's a listener, sorry? What?
That's so he'd speak to prisoners that was having an hard time coming in there. They've come in there and they shouldn't be in there. They're just having an hard time coping, so they'd call him out and he'd go and sit and talk to them. So yeah, so you can learn what you want. I think it all depends on you. So no, he's learnt a lot in there. Yeah. So
amazing. And was he sharing a cell with lots of people? Did he have?
He's always had to share a cell, and they're really tiny. But whoever he's been with, they was as good as gold anyway. Yeah. We watched it on the news. So then we was all rallying around, and then obviously it was all done from inside the prison. So we waited and said Jerry's going to be one of the ones for but they're not letting out violent prisoners and domestic abuse and that. I've not seen that. It's only like your normal drug dealers and that. I know that's bad, but no, I'm just happy he's coming out.
And do you know how he's feeling? Has he told you?
Oh, he just says, I can't wait to get home. I just want to come home to my own house. So, yeah.
So enjoy the takeaway.
We will do. Oh, it's lovely speaking to you. Good luck.